Rob, the commodities supercycle is well and truly over. Brazil, of course, was one of the great beneficiaries of that supercycle. Does this mean that Brazilian investment story is also over?
It does mean that you have to pick your sectors a lot more carefully. And one sector that's been getting a lot of attention over the last year or so is education in Brazil. In her second inauguration address, the president said that her second term, the slogan was going to be Brazil, country of education, or something similar. So there's tremendous political support behind education, along with several private companies that provide mostly post-secondary education, and these stocks have done extremely well.
So this is something that investors can gain exposure to?
Yeah, so the biggest of the companies, which is called Kroton, has grown at an average rate, its revenues at about 50% over the last 5 years. And it is now highly cash generative, highly profitable. Analysts are expecting the growth to continue over the next couple of years. And so while the stock is at a reasonably high valuation, something like 20 times earnings, it has the robust growth to match. And again, it's sort of a defensive, non-cyclical business at a time when the traditional cyclical businesses of Brazil are not doing particularly well.
It sounds absolutely ideal. What's the catch?
The catch is that a lot of the students at the private universities get the funding for their tuition through a government program called FEIS, that's the acronym anyway, which has been growing very quickly. In about 2010, the student loan, government loan program was changed to bring interest rates down, increase grace periods, and generally loosening of the loan terms. And it's been red hot ever since. And whenever you have a business that has a lot of its underlying funding coming from the government, you have to think quite carefully about political risk.
And is this an investment class that's done well in other places? It's not a very common investment, public schools, but is this one that can make money from investors?
Well, investors made a lot of money for a time in private education companies in the United States. But then there was a kind of breakdown in the whole system when basically the government funders got wind of the fact that the educations that were being paid for with the loans were not getting students jobs at the other end of the process. And the terms of the government loans got a lot tighter and the stocks all crashed. There is no threat of this happening in the Brazilian education companies yet, but the lesson is that investors have to watch extremely closely to see that the educations provided are good quality, that the students are getting good jobs and so forth, so there's not a similar day of reckoning here.
So diversification then from the Brazilian commodities story, but not without its risks. Rob, thanks very much.
Thank you.